Good afternoon, and welcome to the Local Access Channel. We're here at Whitebrook Middle School, and I'm Mayor Karen Cadger. And today, I'd like to introduce you to our new director of the Greater Easthampton Chamber of Commerce, Maureen Beliveau. She goes by the name of
Mo.
And we're really thrilled and very, very excited to have her here in Easthampton. And why don't we start off with you just telling us a few things about yourself?
Okay, well, I started in October here with the Greater Easthampton Chamber, and I'm thrilled to pieces to be here. Prior to that, I started off in Westfield. I was the former the executive director of the Westfield Business Improvement District, and the bid has since dissolved, so here I am now. Prior to that, I was a small business owner, a micro entrepreneur in Westfield. I was a massage therapist. I had been doing that for 20 years, and so I have a little bit of background in almost everything.
Definitely seems like very versatile.
Yeah. So I did that for 20 years, and then the opening over in Westfield came up, and I decided that I needed to change a pace, and here I am. Well, the pace has changed.
You've been received here with so much excitement, and you have so much energy and so much excitement, and I can tell that I am thrilled to meet you, and I'm very happy about the partnership we formed between the city and the Chamber of Commerce. And why don't you talk about there's just a few things that we've already actually worked on.
Right, so I'm delighted as well, and I look forward to meeting with you on a weekly basis and doing this or that. But in particular, we recently had a business open house which highlighted the city's new permitting system, which streamlines the permitting process for anyone who's doing any sort of building, reconstruction, renovation, new businesses, and that sort of thing. So I'm very excited about that from a business perspective, because a lot of time can be wasted just trying to figure out where we're supposed to go and where we're supposed to start and what department needs what paperwork or this or that or fees and this. So that's really very exciting, and I'm very excited about also the potential of how we can help the community train for that as that comes online, and help getting that information out and partnering with you and being a conduit and getting that out. And I'm also incredibly excited about the coffee hours that we're going to be starting in January. So giving the business community an opportunity to ask their questions and bring their concerns, and having casual, honest conversation.
And I really appreciated your help. Mo and I went door to door, so to speak, business to business, dropping off flyers at every business we could think of. And the chamber, whether you were a chamber member or not, and the chamber was very, very helpful doing an e-blast to all their members. So I couldn't have done it without you. So it's been a pleasure.
It's a team.
And again, we've also are attending the Economic Development Commission meetings, as you're going to be a new member. So a lot of exciting things. But speaking of exciting things that are happening, why don't you tell us about what's happening this Friday night?
Well, we have the stroll coming up, the holiday stroll with, we'll have our parade, which starts off, our stroll that starts off at Maple School. Is it Maple School?
Maple Street School.
Maple Street School.
That's correct.
And we'll be traveling through town to the pond and beyond, and we'll ultimately be meeting Santa at, is it Pulaski?
That's
I'm
right.
sorry,
No.
It's only been since October,
Perfect.
so I'm learning all this new location.
You're doing great.
Pulaski Park, and with hot chocolate and cookies and music and lots of fun.
I think this event is one of the most special things. And it starts at 7 o'clock at Maple Street School, right?
7 o'clock. We leave
Maple Street School at 7.
We leave at 7 and make our way to the park, and we get to have the tree lighting.
That's right.
At 50 Payson.
We have a new tree this year.
It's a beautiful live tree.
Yep.
And all the holiday lights and the street lights and things, which always is lovely at this time.
And I very much appreciate the new tree this year, because with the project on the pond, this is something that, we have a few things missing, but we have a few things that are new too, so it's really good.
Yeah.
And speaking about the stroll, ABC 40 wanted to do a highlight on Easthampton, and they had just contacted me just about a week ago about different community events, and I'm so disappointed that they couldn't be here to do that event.
I know.
Because the stroll is really special.
Yeah,
and
is.
so
And it draws such a great crowd.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is next year I'm going to tell them the stroll is always the first Friday in December.
Perfect.
So that they can get us on their schedule, so when they highlight our community, they can highlight something that is a highlight of our community.
Right.
So what we're going to do is they're just going to meet in front of our building, kind of right at the corner where the pond is, right on the 50 Payson Avenue property, and we're going to do a coat drive and a food drive.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to come down and drop that off, the coats and the food will go to the Easthampton Community Center. I think you've met Robin. Have you met Robin yet?
I'm not sure.
Well, you will meet her. You'll meet her Monday night.
Excellent.
So this is from 5 to 6:30 on Monday night. I think, what did they call it? Actually, I have a little flyer here. Oh, they call it ABC 40. So
In Easthampton.
we'll scratch that. And so you'll meet her then,
Yep.
and she'll have boxes, 2 boxes, one for food, one for coats, so that anybody can drop them off. And if they can't make it between 5 and 6:30, because that's very short notice, then they can drop them off at any time during the day, Monday through Friday,
Great.
at the community center. And the community center is located on Clark Street. I
Great.
believe it's 12 Clark Street. So that you just reminded me when you were talking about the stroll, that I really wanted to have that
Yeah.
highlighted for our community,
Yeah.
because I think, we all know that it happens, but other communities don't see some of the really
Right.
wonderful things we do.
Right.
And that the lighting is put on by the chamber, as is the stroll.
Right, which is we're deep in the throes
Right.
of fundraising for that now. So
And speaking of your lighting and the chamber, we also have a holiday a dinner coming up.
holiday comic relief dinner.
Comic relief.
Comic relief.
That's different.
Yeah, with Frank Santorini. He is known as the godfather of comedy, and he is, I believe, I can't remember his name on the show, but the bartender on The Sopranos.
Oh, really?
So that's going to be, we're mixing it up a little bit this year.
That
so
sounds
a little
really
comic
good.
relief, so we'll have a good laugh.
Well, I know I'll be
And
there. And what night is that's Thursday?
It's yeah,
A week
the
from
11th.
tomorrow.
Yep, the 11th. So we still have some spaces available. So if
So
you
you
haven't
still
got your
have
tickets,
tickets.
if you haven't got your ticket, please let us know, and we'll make sure that you're on the list. And,
And
we
they
would
would
love
just
to see you.
They would just contact you or
Yep.
Denise at the chamber.
Yep, that's it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
And what is your phone number?
527-9414.
Okay. All right. So what else does the chamber have coming up? This is a very busy season for you.
Yeah. Well, we've been focusing a lot on our, like I said, fundraising for the holiday lights, and that's a pretty. That starts in October, and we go right through December to get that to happen.
How are you doing on the fundraiser? on the
Well, we
event?
can always use a little bit more help. So,
Right.
so if you haven't made your donation yet, please consider that, and we always appreciate the gift. So, please do that. And then in January we have our annual meeting. So everyone's always welcome to join us for that. That will be at the Log Cabin. So.
And
No, I'm
it's
sorry, Southampton Country Club.
Southampton Country Club.
Sorry, scratch that. Southampton Country Club.
And it's never too late to donate, because you'll use the funds every year. You need them for the
Oh
lighting.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And it's start from scratch. Yeah.
So, and you also, at Pulaski Park, you have people that, I thought I remember Jeff from the Silver Spoon donates the hot chocolate.
Yep. Jeff donates the hot chocolate.
It's very nice.
We have chocolate chip cookies. We get donations from Burger King is really wonderful, helping us with that. So yeah, that's a huge community effort.
It is.
Huge community effort.
Okay. Well, I think part of the excitement about, the city partnershiping, with the chamber, and just my whole goal was just to open the doors of communication for all businesses to feel that we are welcome and to feel free to stop in or communicate any other way. So what also I have been doing is I have, trying to meet the community on their end, not just where, they need to stop into our municipal offices. So what I started a while ago is I do 1 hour the second Thursday of the month at 11 o'clock at the Council on Aging. And I have a group that is actually, they're usually there waiting for me, and I know that you were there before, so I really appreciate you attending these.
Thanks.
And because of the reception that I received from the Council on Aging, I decided to do them at a different coffee shop. And my very first one, you were there, and my second one, you were there. So I think it's very important, and for me to have the exposure and meeting people. People are much more. I mean, in my experience, feel much more comfortable coming up to you. And if I'm in a store or at a coffee shop, so that's what the purpose of this is just being totally accessible to the public.
Right.
So the first coffee hour I did was at Manhan Cafe, and those are the third Friday of every month. So we did Manhan Cafe, and you were at the first one, and also the last one was Shelburne, and the next one coming up is going to be at Tandem. And again, they're the third Friday of the month at 9 a.m., figuring that's when people are most apt to be there. And also, I'm thrilled by inviting you that you've been there, and our councilor president, Joe McCoy, is there, and also Representative Sybeck has been joining us. So, and I'm hoping in the future Senator Humison will be joining us.
He
So,
may very well be.
and I think on that end, so as people are, popping in to ask questions, it allows them to ask all kinds of questions. So it's vitally important for me that you were there.
Thank you.
And I think on your end,
Right, and this is what I love about working with you, is that I feel like we really are on the same wave,
Definitely.
on the same page, and meeting folks where they're at, rather than,
making them come to us.
well, that, A, and B, this is, it's their chamber. And that's the information
Exactly.
that I'm looking for to make it better for our members and more attractive to those who, for some reason, have not chosen to be a member.
And I've heard a lot of people asking you, how to go about being a member and asking you information about the chamber and being a member.
Right. So that's why I'm so thrilled to be doing our coffee hour, the business coffee hour, Monday morning with the mayor, getting down to business about business.
Right, now those are business coffee hours. Now that's something that you just created just recently. We haven't done that yet. That's in January.
That's going to be January 12th is the first one. They are 8 in the morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and hopefully folks will be able to swing in before they have to be at the office or the shop or wherever it is that they do their business.
On their way.
And Janelle Jorda of Web Tactics has offered to be our first host.
That was very nice.
And the only requirement that we are asking of a host for this event is to provide coffee. So
Coffee will be good.
coffee hour, coffee. So that's really exciting. And I think that people really do reach a new level of communication because they're feeling more comfortable and more relaxed. And
I
it's not
agree.
so rigid. And we're not dictating what the conversation is. We're hoping that they'll...
Anything. Very casual, very
Right.
comfortable. And also it allows people, it fits into their time frame. So I think we're trying to hit every type of time frame you can. Of course, everybody's always welcome at your office or at my office.
Of course.
Or any of the municipal offices, they're all public. But that allows people to maybe, like you said, with the coffee business hour, on their way into work,
Right.
or on their way here or there. So
Right.
we're trying to get them at all different
Right.
stages. So
So if anyone's
very
interested in
excited about
being a
that.
host, I still have some spaces available. I'm looking for someone for March, so that'll be great. Just give us a call at the chamber and we'll...
Right, because you've already filled up January,
February,
February,
and July.
And July.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yeah.
And I have to say that out of any new employees, businesses, I don't think I've ever seen anybody as the excitement of receiving you into our community.
He's really
So-
has been quite incredible, and I've just decided that no one's knocking me off of that, off of that high. That's really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen my toy room yet? At
Your
the
toy room.
Yep.
No.
Oh, I can't believe that
No.
you're in the office so many times. You're at. But anyway, I don't want to forget to remind people. This is the 21st year that I have coordinated. It's called the Easthampton Toy Program. And if anybody is in, all you have to do is be in need of toys and live in Easthampton. That's the criteria. So, but to get on the toy program, you have to call my office at 529-1470 so that I can get the information, your address, and your children's names and ages. And the pickups are starting a week from Wednesday, which I believe is the 10th. And so
Yes.
I want everybody, if you haven't called yet and you need toys, please call ASAP.
Great.
And if you think of it and it's midnight tonight, just leave your name and number and we'll track you down.
Perfect.
So you have to, but that's the one thing you have to call. And again, it's 100% on donations, excuse me. And I typically need to raise $15,000 a year. And I always meet the goal because of the overwhelming generosity of our community. And so if anybody wants to donate, that's year-round, and that's Easthampton Toy Program, 50 Payson Avenue, Easthampton, Mass. And also, there's a pancake breakfast coming up, Pancake with Santa, and at the Pulaski Club. And that's a week from Saturday. And donations from that will go to the toy program.
Nice.
Hot Buttered Elves. So lots of different groups that do things to fundraise for us, but I also want to make mention too that a lot of these things are already on the Access channel, but they have a new website, which is easthamptonmedia.org. So I don't want anybody to forget because that's been changed. So there's a lot of things going on, and we try to make sure we post them all on the local Access channels so that the public gets to see them.
Right.
And I hope that you'll join me again, maybe in a month. And I think it'd be a great idea if we could get the new library director to be here too.
Absolutely.
We both met her briefly.
I would love that.
And
I would absolutely love that.
And I'm sure the library has tons of things going on that they'd like to advertise. I think the part that's sometimes missing is there's so many things going on in the community all the time,
Right.
and people just don't know.
Right.
So we're just trying, between your office and my office, just trying to provide as much information to the residents and the community as we possibly can.
Right, absolutely.
And thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.